at an actual IndyCar race where I'll be getting hands-on with the pit crew and their tools. What oil temps are you guys running?
100C.
I thought this was an American racing series.
Our Chevrolet was designed in England. They're made here.
Okay.
They're assembled.
Designed in
Gilmore Engineering, I think they're headquartered.
where they keep their pinkies out.
Yes. Lots of teeth.
Lots of teeth.
Trumpets.
I'm here with Jimmy, the pit crew chief here for ECR Racing. How'd you get into this line of work?
I basically grew up around race cars.
Really?
Yeah.
Indy specifically, or
Nah, they were modifieds.
is it in your family? Like, do you have family in it?
Fourth generation.
Fourth generation, so it's in your blood, for sure. Yeah. Okay.
You can't cure.
A disease you can't cure, and it's an expensive one, I imagine, yes. Little Birdie told me that you used to do something quite different before you came here, that you may or may not have played in the NFL.
I did, yes.
They're gonna call HR.
I was in the NFL for 6 years, and then when it was time to retire, I called him, and that's kind of how I got into this.
And how long have you been doing it?
This
Years?
will be my 3rd year. It's been a blast, though. You're kind of going from one professional sport to another. It was nothing. Something I never expected I would do.
When I grew up, I couldn't wait to change wheels on my car.
100%.
Bigger carburetor,
Right, anything. We just want to go fast. Yeah. What was your first car?
69 Mustang.
Wow. Come on. Come on. That's not fair. Mine was a 98 Honda Civic, so.
Okay.
But I did turbocharge it when I was 18. You know, same thing. Lowering springs as soon as I could, any modification I could, get my hands on or afford with a waitressing job. But
It was in the early 80s, so pricey.
That's true.
I've always been into working on cars and watching racing. I grew up with, NASCAR. As I got older, I got more into Formula One. Then, the Drive to Survive on Netflix. And that's just kind of what kept, really sparked my interest in racing. And it's been fun to now just be a part of it.
I've always been very curious. What are the qualifications you guys look for when you're looking for pit crew mechanics?
You got to be pretty detail oriented, be able to travel a lot.
Yeah, you guys travel all across the country throughout the year?
Yep. The season is only like 6 months, I think, now. It's like a condensed schedule. So that's 6 months you travel a lot. And then you start working at the shop. We'll test a few times during the off season.
Maintenance, R&D type stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
We
cool.
build everything you can't do during the race season.
Right.
Rebuild our golf carts or tuggers or
Okay.
stuff that just means demo.
The not sexy stuff. Are most of your pit crew mechanics local to where the race team?
Yes.
Okay, and where are you guys located at?
Indianapolis.
In Indianapolis, which makes sense.
I think there's only 3 teams that aren't in Indianapolis.
I imagine that's a lot more convenient considering what your largest race is, the Indy 500?
Yeah, the parts are there, the Indy's there, the track.
As an instructor myself for an automotive program, I get some students who they tell me, one day I want to work on a pit crew or something like that. What would you say to anybody watching who might be interested? Let's say they're young and up and coming. What advice would you have for them if they were thinking about getting into the field?
I'd say go find a little local race team you want to help. Work on a few race cars, and little by little you can step up.
Work your way up, build your network.
Yeah. If you have a network of people know you're a good mechanic, you'll progress.
Right, and I imagine there's very little room for error, so you want to vet somebody pretty good before they get to you.
Yes.
When it's time to get off-road, we turn to today's sponsor, hand-cooked Dynapro tires. Since the Dynapro MT2s proved themselves at King of the Hammers, we figured we'd take the Ranger to Johnson Valley to see what they can do. And there was only one person we could think of to put behind the wheel.
I have no idea what I'm doing, but I know I'm in good hands with the Dynapro MT2s. In fact, I trust them so much, I'm gonna let the tires do the driving.
You're gonna do what now?
Trust the tires. Dude, chill out. Thanks to the Dynapro MT2's massive tread pattern, beefy lugs, and reinforced shoulders, I don't have to worry about losing control at all.
Yeah, but you still gotta steer.
The Dynapro MT2s are specifically designed to eject mud, rocks, and sand so that no matter where you are, you'll always have grip. And with their sidewall armor, you don't have to worry about punctures at all. The Dynapro MT2s aren't just a force on the trail. Unlike other off-road tires, they're buttery smooth to drive on the road. If you want a tire you can trust on and off-road, check out Hankook's Dynapro off-road tires.
How did you do that?
I was always driving.
Now, how do you guys build a strategy of who does what on the pit crew?
We kind of have just start off with one department and move to another side and move up to another side.
Oh, I see. So they kind of can rotate through and you guys see who's the strongest in what area?
Oh, it's just more of a learning curve.
Gotcha.
We'll start them off with like building wings. Once you see their detail-oriented stuff, we'll move them to like the front of the car, and once they advance from there, they'll go to the back of the car.
What is your position on the team? What's your job?
So a race day fueler, well, the big green hose, fuel, and then during the rest of the time, rear end mechanic.
So is that lifting up the vehicle, and what do you do back there?
So all suspension and the electronics, putting the car together. So from engine back, we can split it 3 different ways. Engine hybrid, gearbox, putting that together, make sure everything works. Air jack lines, different cooling ducts, you name it.
Every pit stop, you're just doing a once over on everything, making sure nothing's broken.
Yep, so current practice, you'll see it today. We'll take all the bodywork off, check over that there's no leaks, nothing's rubbing weird, nothing's bouncing around, make sure everything's happy. Any changes that need to be made for the engineers, suspension-wise, we'll take care of that.
How do you guys prepare for a unique track like here in the city of Long Beach? That's got to be pretty crazy because the roads are being used, there's so many imperfections.
The cars are basically the same about everywhere we'll go. There's certain parts you'll change for an oval. As far as street course, road course, oval, you use basically the same parts. It's mainly just setup, ride heights.
You guys use like maybe a taller ride height? Okay.
Higher. Different wing angles.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about alignment angles?
Yeah, cambers and toes change.
I imagine for oval for sure.
Yeah. Even on street courses, road courses.
Just per track. And is that?
Per session, actually.
Oh, per session.
Yes.
What changes per session?
Grip gets better.
So I do believe, is it last year was the new implementation of the hybrid setup?
The hybrid.
How do you feel about
Everybody's
that?
favorite.
Yeah, okay. There's a answer I thought I might guess.
The car wasn't designed for the hybrid.
I see.
Going at the other layer.
Every ounce means something on this car. Those capacitors, are they fairly heavy?
Yeah, it added I think it's like 107 pounds.
Oh, dang. Oh, wow. You guys have a push to pass strategy. Is that with the tune or is that just boost pressure?
That's with the two.
Okay. So we're actually just changing.
The hybrid, we gen and regens the whole time. It's basically used as an interval for a motor.
So we still have the push to pass strategy, which I'm not really sure what it is. They kind of took that.
Hush, hush. A little. And then it's limited to you're allowed so many seconds of it.
That changes per track also.
I also heard that boost pressure changes per track as well. So at Long Beach, I don't know if you're allowed to tell me what your boost pressure is at this track. Oh, we don't talk about that.
Stay in your wheelhouse, so to speak.
I see. Okay. For your street tracks like this one, I have to imagine there's more repairs that have to be made. What are some common things that maybe get more wear and tear on a track like this, or that tend to break more on a track like this?
The bottom of the floor gets beat up pretty good.
And are those just panels at the bottom that get cracked, or?
Or have one out. Yeah, they're skids. We even adjust the weight by the skids on the bottom of your car.
Oh.
You have stainless, brass, carbon fiber.
Oh, maybe I'm getting a little into the weeds, but are there so we need more weight in the back versus the front. Are you using different types of materials on the front? Oh, I see. Okay. Very cool. I didn't know that.
Yes.
So a lot of our audience is mainly made up of mechanics, since it's real mechanic stuff. What would you say are the specialty or cool tools that you guys use here in the pits?
We make a lot of tools that fit to try to make our job easier.
I mean, that's kind of like everybody's mechanics, right? Oh, this doesn't fit right. Let me get this job done easier or faster by bending this around or whatever. You guys have a pretty crazy lug tool. That's a lot of points.
Wheel nuts, yeah.
The wheel nut tool that you guys have. What's the torque on that, by the way?
600.
Oh my gosh, 600 foot-pounds. That's pretty crazy.
It takes 2 hands to run the yard.
That's nuts.
least
That
that's
is
me.
nuts.
A Big Ben, probably not, but
Nice to meet you. I'm Jake Klump. I'm with Chip Ganassi Racing. I changed the inside rear tire on the number 10 car for Alex Below. At ovals, we go one direction, so I changed the left rear on that. Here at Long Beach and several other racetracks, we go the opposite direction down pit lane. I change the right rear. So I change sides at different races. So this is a left-handed gun, or a left side gun. So I would use this at ovals.
Do you change out these heads all the time, or is it?
No, the heads are all the same. They just spin different directions. This is where the wheel nut locks into, and then it'll come out when you put it back on the car.
Oh,
So these are all magnets on here, and it'll hold the wheel nut on here. When you take it off, it'll stay in the gun when you are changing that for tires. And then when you go put it back on the threads, it'll come off this.
kind of beer?
Yeah, absolutely.
So one hand or two hands like that all the time?
2 hands.
Because I see them when they're locking it in like boom.
Yep. So my process, this is when I hit the wheel nut like this, it's gonna spin this way. When I hit the trigger, I'll drop this on the ground and it will switch directions. And as I'm changing the tire, that switches the direction. And so when I go pick this back up and hit the wheel nut again, it will spin the opposite direction and tire goes out on it. So this is what triggers the direction.
Well, that's cool. That's cool. Check this out, guys. Look, can I have them?
F1 is a race for money, right? Who's got the bigger pockets? Here it seems to be a little bit more skill-based.
Yeah, it is.
What do you think?
Oh, it is. We got 27 cars, but there's 17 turns here, and they'll be within a second.
This seems way cooler to me than F1. Sorry, F1.
The technology of an F1 car is amazing.
Right, because the money's there.
We've kind of dumbed our cars down, but it just created better races.
Right, yeah, more competitive, I think. You guys go faster.
We're hauling ass.
We're hauling ass. Can we get that?
They don't have power steering.
They don't have power steering, which makes them, that's another cool factor from F1. You know, you got the little dudes in F1, you got their power steering. IndyCar drivers, they got to bring that muscle.
So the car weighs around 3,500 pounds in the middle of a corner, and the drivers are
That's nuts.
through that.
That's nuts. What's that? Is that traps?
Yeah.
They got to have
And they're
crazy
laying
traps.
down, so they're
Oh,
like a stock car. They sit up close to the tire. They're using their shoulders.
you know what? I didn't notice that. So they are kind of more.
So they're using their forearms. It's like steering a street car with the ignition turned off.
Right. At a standstill. Yeah. With a tiny steering wheel. So steering wheel's like this big.
They wear their gloves out on every couple races.
That's crazy. Oh my gosh. You and I were talking a little earlier about your tires. I think you guys have 2 sets of tires that you have to use. Is there a regulated amount of time that you have to use, let's say, your hard tires versus your sticky tires, or you guys make that
You have to
decision?
use 2 laps of each.
And I noticed that, because you guys have the black stripe or the black tires and you have the red tires, but here I noticed instead of red, you guys are using green.
Yes.
What's the difference?
They're made out of cactus,
They're made out of cactus, going green.
hybrid,
You know,
plant-based tires. We're all
plant-based
riding
tires.
pine cones and nuts in the garage.
I love it. I noticed that there was a gentleman in the back who was putting baby powder on the tires.
Yeah.
Can you tell me what that's all about?
That's just his little.
That's just this thing.
Yeah.
It's just like something that made me tired.
Actually, the green tires, they're soft. They're our alternate tire, which your car will go faster.
Right.
For a-
Getting more grip.
Right. They'll stick together.
So the tires are a beast.
Really?
Yeah. So we get to the track, they say, here's your tires. We go use them, we give back.
Interesting. Leasing tires.
Yeah, that way their technology stays.
I see. Proprietary. I see. It's a special blend of herbs and spices.
We have these tires we're allowed to tow the car around on.
Okay.
If it gets a bit lame, we'll put the actual tires.
Because you don't want to contaminate them potentially or
Like here,
get them dirty or
get nailed.
dry. Okay. Yeah.
The ECR team crew chief Jimmy was giving me the rundown of the IndyCar suspension design. IndyCars use a double wishbone suspension system, but with a twist. Because they need to be aerodynamic, reaching up to 200 miles an hour, the spring and the damper need to be placed out of the airstream and moved to the center of the vehicle. This can also act as an added benefit by reducing unsprung weight, and by moving this mass inboard and affecting the center of gravity, handling and capability is greatly improved. Jimmy and the ECR team were kind enough to let me in on the fun.
We're getting a full tutorial on, looks like maybe camber adjustment, spare arms. So if they break something, they can quickly replace it without having to adjust it.
Anything can happen on the track, and these teams come prepared with spare parts.
Are these the longer?
Rods. That's long.
Not the kind of push rod I'm used to, I guess.
Nope.
Jimmy showed me how to adjust the camber on the push rod, which is pretty similar to most outer tie rod ends on passenger cars. They even let me adjust the spare arms for the track. I used a digital caliper to measure the lengths of the push rods that were on the car, and then I just matched the lengths of the ends of the links that were on the spare arms.
I cannot thank you enough again for having me here and letting me tinker around with you. I really hope that you guys don't need those arms, but if you do, I will feel so special. All right, guys, that's a wrap here at the Long Beach Grand Prix. Big shout out to ECR Racing for having me and letting me get hands-on with everything. Good luck to you guys.